to be here. Any of you, by the way, any of you golfers, tell you a quick little analogy about golf. I know a couple of you are golfers here. I was watching the Golf Channel here, it was a couple of weeks ago, and Hank Haney, one of the golf coaches, one of the top golf coaches in the country, there was a really interesting interview that they did with Hank Haney, and they asked him one question. He says, why do the pros, why do the elite professionals still have coaches? He says, at some point you figure they've got it figured out. And I really thought it was insightful, one of the things that he said. He said, one of the things that happens to the pros is when they're early in their career, when they're young and they're junior golfers, they learn the fundamentals of golf, and that's how they get to the level that they do. And then he said, at some point along the way, because they play so much golf and they hit so many balls, that the monotony sets in, because they're just out there so often, and as a result, they start trying new things. They just start doing different things along the way, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's just the monotony of doing it over and over again as they kind of sometimes just do things. And sometimes when they try something new, it works. It works for a round or a tournament or something like that, and they get away a little bit from the fundamentals. And so one of the things that Hank Haney said, and I thought this was really insightful, he says, all we do, our job as coaches to the elite golfers, is not to tell them anything they don't already know, it's just to get them back to the fundamentals. He says, sometimes we just kind of get away from the fundamentals. He says, can they still play? Of course they can play. They can still win tournaments. But will they be as consistent if they get away from the fundamentals too often? And he says, all we're trained to do is just to be able to spot some of the things that they're doing and just to get them back to north, if you will. And so really all I'm about today is not so much teaching. I think you guys, I know a lot of you guys have got a lot of experience. A lot of what we're going to be doing today is think of me as Hank Haney, is just getting back to some of the fundamentals of selling new homes. And the whole idea is to be more consistent in what we're doing. So, you know what, I'll start off, and let me just give you a little bit about my background, just so you know who's with you here today. I have a little bit of a unique background for what I do, I think. I started in Los Angeles with a company called the Dale Carnegie Course. Have you ever heard of Dale Carnegie? And so I spent 10 years teaching Dale Carnegie in Los Angeles, which was a great training for a young guy. And so I understood the fundamentals of sales, and Ray Watt Homes at the time, was the largest builder in the state of California. And I did some training for Mr. Watt's managers, and he kind of liked what I did. And one day he came up to me and said, have you ever thought about getting into new home sales? I said, I don't know anything about it. And one thing led to another, and I got my real estate license, and they moved me to San Francisco, and I spent the next 10 years selling houses in San Francisco, and San Francisco, Oakland Bay, San Jose, in that area, downtown San Francisco. And so I got a good feel of it, started a company in San Francisco with Coldwell Banker, and we kind of created their new home sales division with Coldwell Banker. And so I spent a lot of years, so I know exactly what you go through. I spent 10 years doing what you did, and then